and I'm ready. Just pray to our God that I don't believe it. 'Cause I got time, what she got freedom.
When you look at life, it could be really complex or it can be really simple. If you look at it really simple, it's only two things that really motivate us. It's the ability to feel pleasure or to feel good inside, and to avoid feeling pain inside. So when we look at our actions, it seems like very randomly what we do. But if we look underneath, we can see that everything is motivated, is taken from these two emotions. And if we have that as a cause, as a root view, it's much easier to decode life or decode the actions or the choices we take from day-to-day life. And because we have these two motivations, the pain of not things going as we would like them to go, and the pleasure of things going as we want them to go, we are really confused on what to do short term and what to do long term, and how to mix these two. And I think the big problem is that we can't really imagine how the future will pan out. We can't really visualize what will happen. It's so many different parameters that are mixed together. And that's the main thing about taking choices. Choices is very hard when you try to use your rational part and try to rationalize life like that. So we need a deeper understanding of, a deeper knowing of how to take choices. We can't really think about everything and try to put everything in the context, in the view of how our lives is going to go. And here I think feelings is very important, because a choice that I take today may not have any logical explanation. It may not look like it's something that fits in my reality as I see it. But if we look in a larger perspective, I know many leaders have said that also. Steve Jobs, for example, said that at the time I didn't know what this information was useful for. I didn't know what I'm going to use these things for. But when I look in perspective and when I look back at things, I can see the dots connecting. And how is it possible to acquire a certain type of knowledge or a certain type of experience that you don't need at the time, if you don't have belief that you take these choices out of feeling, out of gut feeling, or out of just something else than rationalization?
I'm falling to pieces, yeah. I'm falling to pieces.
So I think it's very important to trust in our ability to take choice, not based on what we know, but based on what we feel. Another thing that can go really wrong when we look at choices is that we base our choices to get the least pain, to get the, as we see it, quickest way to success. But success is in a large degree based on experiences. Experiences are often based on bad choices. So here, there's the paradox, you know. A lot of people talking about the law of attraction and how to get things. And in the long run, I think law of attraction meets its purpose. Because if we focus on something, it starts to create, it starts to manifest. But when we try to control all the small circumstances in life, it goes extremely bad, because all the small things are sometimes there to remind us or to learn, there for us to learn something about how to do it different, how to maybe learn something about ourselves, or something about how to take another route, or stuff like that. So I think it's very dangerous to go into and try to have an idea how life is going to develop in the small scheme, in the small areas of life. Just have faith in that sometimes, some way is going to pan out right for me is going to lead to the right circumstances. But the road life takes is very hard to predict. It's very hard to predict how everything is going to work out. In the long run, you often see that, yes, it's going the direction I want, but in the short term, we have to find something else that guides us. We have to find something else that we can take choices based upon. And one of those things is how it feels. I often, when I do choices, I think, oh, this is not smart. This is not the best possible thing to do. But when I look at it backwards, a couple of years later, I can see how everything fits together. So just to have that belief, to have the trust in ourselves that it doesn't have to look perfect on the outside, doesn't have to look perfect at the moment when you're doing it, but sometimes in the future it's going to just come together in a very nice way. So when we have this knowledge that everything that is hard, that is painful, also brings an experience, we can shift the view of how we want life to be. We can look at it as everything helps me to grow, everything helps me to take better judgment in the future. And I think it can be very, 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 very harmful to listen too much to others, because when you do that, you take your power out of yourself. You go away from your ability to develop a sense of what to do next, what to follow, and you become uncertain of the future. And the focus is drawn away from what you feel now. How am I feeling about these circumstances? Which is the most important tool actually for taking small steps. One man I listened to said, well, if you don't know what to do in the long run, in a couple of years, if you have a problem with that, start with the small things. What do you want to do in the next 5 minutes? What do you want to do the next 2 minutes? Because at the end, that ability to feel what you want to do the next minute or the next 5 minutes is actually the key to finding out what you want to do in a 5 years time span or 2 years time span. It's the same ability in ourselves to find what's the next thing. Okay, I found that this thing out, and a lot of us is chasing happiness. Like, okay, I want to do this because that makes me feel happy. So in the end, we're stuck with the thought that makes us happy. And in many cases, when we experience that reality, or we come into that reality that we have inside here, we already have a new thought that we want to experience. So we already, we already kill the joy of that experience. So we don't really have it in real life anymore. So it's much more exciting, I think, letting life showing you things than first deciding what you want and then just pushing life to where you want it. It's like coming into life and just feeling in yourself, I don't have a good feeling in myself now. Okay, where did the good feeling go right now? Okay, it's over there. So you follow the feeling, and ultimately circumstances in your life changes because you follow that feeling. So everything outside change because you follow a small, simple principle in life, and that's extremely powerful.
Best days will be some of my worst. She finally met a man that's gonna put her first. But when I wake, she's no trouble sleeping. Cause when her breaks, no, it don't break even. Oh, what I'm supposed to do, and the best part of me was always you. And what I'm supposed to say when I'm all choked up in your I'm falling to pieces.